Have you ever dreamed of working from a sunny beach in Thailand, sipping fresh coconut water, and calling yourself a digital nomad, only to wake up broke and stressed because you blew through your budget? You are not alone. Thousands of nomads make the same mistakes over and over. And today, we are exposing the biggest budgeting traps that even smart travelers fall into. But stick around, because there is one sneaky mistake almost no one talks about, and it could quietly drain your wallet faster than you think. Number 1. Underestimating the cost of living abroad. You have seen the blogs. Live in Bali for under $500 a month. Sounds like a dream, right? But here is the truth. Those numbers are often outdated or unrealistic. For example, Chiang Mai used to be one of the cheapest nomad hotspots, but rent prices have doubled in the past 5 years. I met a nomad last year who budgeted $600 a month for Vietnam and ran out of money halfway through because he didn't account for rising costs and tourist prices. Before you land, research recent cost of living data and always add at least 20% padding to your budget for unexpected hikes. Number 2. Ignoring health insurance. This one stings because most beginners simply skip it. "I'm young and healthy, I'll be fine," they say, until they are not. One traveler I know got food poisoning so bad in Mexico City, she had to go to a private hospital. The bill, over $1,500. Money she didn't have. Nomad-friendly health insurance plans like Safety Wing or IMG can save you thousands when accidents happen. And they do happen. Number 3. Overpaying for flights. Many beginners book flights like they are going on vacation. Last minute, premium seats, no strategy. But as a nomad, flights are one of your biggest expenses. I once watched a friend pay $1,200 for a Bangkok to New York flight I booked months earlier for $450. Tools like Google Flights, Skyscanner, and flexible date searches can cut your costs in half. Even better, learn to collect points on travel credit cards. One woman I coached flew business class from LA to Lisbon using points and paid just the taxes. Number 4. Overspending in cheap destinations. Here is a trap no one warns you about. Cheap places make you feel rich, so you spend more. You see that beachfront villa in Koh Samui for $80 a night and think, why not? Dinner with wine every night. Sure, until your cheap trip costs as much as staying in New York City. One client of mine actually spent more living in Medellin than he did back home in Denver. All because he fell into the lifestyle trap. Track your daily expenses, even in affordable countries, so the small splurges do not pile up. Number 5. Forgetting about taxes. This one shocks so many beginners. Just because you are abroad does not mean you stop owing taxes in the USA. I knew a freelancer who didn't file for 2 years because she thought being in Bali meant she didn't have to. The IRS disagreed and sent her a bill with penalties. Learn about the foreign earned income exclusion and how to file properly. You can earn up to around $120,000 tax-free if you qualify, but you still have to file every year. Always. Number 6. Not having an emergency fund. Life happens, and it happens more when you're thousands of miles away from home. Last year, I met a nomad whose laptop broke in the Philippines. No laptop meant no work, which meant no income. She didn't have enough saved to replace it right away. Always keep at least 3 months of living expenses in a separate account. I call it your get-out-of-trouble fund. Number 7. Ignoring local bank fees and exchange rates. You would be surprised how much money you can lose to bad exchange rates and ATM fees. I once calculated that a beginner nomad paid over $400 in hidden fees in just 1 year by using his USA debit card at foreign ATMs. Open a bank account that refunds international ATM fees and offers good currency exchange rates. Some nomads even open a Wise or Revolut account to save even more. Number 8. Traveling too fast. Every beginner wants to see it all. 3 cities in 1 month. Hopping from plane to train to bus. But this burns through your cash fast. Transport, short-term rentals, and eating out every day add up. One client of mine slowed down to spending 3 months in one city instead of 1 week and cut her monthly costs by nearly half. Plus, she actually enjoyed the experience more. Number 9. Underpricing your work. This one is subtle but dangerous. Many digital nomads start out charging far too little for their services because they assume they don't need much money in cheap countries. One guy I coached charged $10 an hour as a freelance writer, then realized even in Thailand, he was barely breaking even. Charge based on the value you deliver, not just what you think locals live on. And always plan your rates to support you wherever you might need to go next. Number 10. Relying on one income stream. Most beginners depend on a single client, gig, or platform. That's risky. A friend of mine lost her main client overnight and had to borrow money to pay rent in Portugal. Build multiple streams of income, even small ones, to protect yourself. Freelancing, affiliate income, digital products, the more sources you have, the safer your budget will be. Number 11. Overlooking visa costs and rules. Oh, this one hurts when it happens. A couple I know stayed too long in Indonesia, thinking, what's the worst that can happen? The worst was a hefty overstay fine and getting banned for 6 months. Many countries require visa fees, extensions, or even proof of income or savings. Always factor visa costs into your budget and know how long you can legally stay before. Moving on. Number 12. Skipping co-working spaces. You might think working from your hostel bed or a noisy cafe is free and fine, but your productivity and income could suffer. One nomad I met in Mexico thought he was saving money by skipping co-working spaces, but his projects took twice as long to finish. Spending $50 to $150 a month on a co-working membership often pays for itself by keeping you focused and efficient. Number 13. Not budgeting for fun. Let's not forget why you became a nomad in the first place. Adventure, experiences, memories. Too many people forget to set aside money for fun, then either overspend or sit in their Airbnb board because they can't afford the surf lesson or the volcano hike. Build a little joy fund into your budget each month. Even $100 can make a big difference when spent on unforgettable experiences. Number 14. Neglecting to track spending. Finally, the simplest mistake, but one that ruins many plans. If you don't track your spending, your budget will fail. One friend of mine was convinced he was living on $1,000 a month until he finally tracked it and saw he was spending closer to $2,000. Use a free app like Trail Wallet or just a Google Sheet. Check in weekly. Awareness is your best tool. Number 15. Not setting a realistic monthly budget. Too many beginners pick a random number, like, I'll live on $1,000 a month, without actually calculating what their lifestyle costs. One woman I met in Lisbon budgeted for a hostel bed and street food, but once she got there she realized she preferred private rooms and cafe meals. Big difference. Sit down before you go and list out housing, food, transport, co-working, insurance, fun, and a buffer. Then see if your income covers it. If not, adjust now, not when you're already stuck. Number 16. Falling for scams and tourist traps. Some nomads forget that in many places, tourists and foreigners get charged double, or worse. A friend of mine in Morocco paid $50 for a taxi ride that should have been 5. Another rented an apartment in Thailand, paid 6 months up front, and the landlord disappeared. Always research common scams in your destination. Ask other nomads in Facebook groups, and never pay large sums without a contract and receipt. Number 17. Forgetting about seasonality. This is a sneaky one. Prices in popular destinations can change dramatically depending on the season. One guy I coached moved to Barcelona in July thinking rent would be cheap, but it was peak tourist season, and he paid double what locals pay. Research your destination's high and low seasons. If you can travel off-peak, you can save a fortune. And avoid crowds. Number 18. Not accounting for work downtime. Here's a reality check. As a nomad, you won't work at full capacity all the time. There are days when the Wi-Fi cuts out, or you're sick from street food, or you just can't focus. One freelancer I know budgeted as if she'd bill 40 hours every week, but only managed 25 because of travel days, time zones, and distractions. Plan your income around realistic work time, not your ideal. Number 19. Being afraid to negotiate. New nomads often pay whatever price is quoted for rent, tours, or services because they feel awkward haggling. But in many countries, negotiating is expected. In Mexico City, I helped a friend negotiate her Airbnb rent down by 25% just by politely asking. Always ask if there's a better rate for longer stays or cash payments. A little courage can save you hundreds. Number 20. Not building a safety net back home. Here's something people don't think about. What if you need to come home unexpectedly? Family emergency, visa denial, burnout. Do you have a plan? One woman I met in Thailand maxed her credit cards and had no money for a return flight when she had to come back to care for her mom. Keep enough in savings for a plane ticket and a few weeks living expenses back home, just in case. Number 21. Skipping local transportation options. Some nomads waste a lot of money taking taxis or rideshares everywhere because they're scared of buses, trains, or tuk-tuks. But local transit is not only cheaper, it's often part of the adventure. I knew someone in Vietnam spending $20 a day on Grab rides, when the bus system cost less than $1 per trip. Spend a little time learning how locals get around, and you'll stretch your budget way further. Number 22. Mismanaging time, zones, and deadlines. If your clients are in the USA but you're in Bali, you can't just work whenever you feel like it. I had a friend who lost a big client because he kept missing deadlines while traveling in Asia. Build your schedule around your client's needs. Set reminders and block out work hours that line up with their business day. It may mean some late nights or early mornings, but it keeps your income stable. Number 23. Forgetting to plan for big purchases. Laptops die, phones get stolen, backpacks wear out. Many nomads forget to budget for replacing the tools they use to work and travel. I met a woman in Medellin whose phone screen cracked, and she had to wait 2 months to afford a new one because she hadn't budgeted for it. Set aside a little each month for gear replacements so you're never stuck without what you need. Number 24. Chasing the cheapest option at any cost. Finally, the most common mistake I see: people chasing the cheapest option, even when it makes them miserable. A guy I met in India stayed in a $6 a night hostel with no hot water and bedbugs, then spent hundreds going to cafes just to escape, sometimes paying a little more up front for a decent apartment, good food, or a co-working space. Actually saves you money by keeping you healthy, productive, and happy. What about you? Out of all these mistakes, which one do you think is holding you back the most? Or which one surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments and let's see what your fellow nomads think too.